So you want to visit Costa Rica, you want to go surfing, do some yoga, hike volcanoes, visit waterfalls, spot some wildlife, party a little, or maybe you just want to lounge on the beach and enjoy the pura vida? Whatever it is you're looking for, this video is your ultimate guide. In the next 30 minutes or so, we will be hitting up all the major destinations, highlighting the top attractions to do in each, and we will be going through all the essential tips that you need to know before you visit. Now, before we get into that, what's up world, and welcome to my channel. My name is Annalie, and I'm an experienced traveler who is obsessed with doing all the research so that you never have to. This video is part of my Latin American series, so if you enjoy it, make sure to check out my channel for more. All right? Get your coffee ready and listen up. Now, let's start with the capital, San Jose. This vibrant city is often the starting point for many travelers, as it has international airports, it is central, and it is the main gateway to everywhere else in the country. The public bus is a super easy, cheap, and convenient way to get to the city from the airport. Now, the city looks big on a map, but the street corners are actually far closer than they appear, making it a super walkable city. At the main center, the Plaza de la Cultura, you can go visit the National Theater, the Gold Museum, or try local dishes at the Central Market. And around San Jose, you could go on awesome day trips. First, an hour south of the city, you'll find Irazu, the highest volcano in the country, with multiple craters. 2 hours north of the capital, you will find Poas, one of the most active volcanoes in the country, with a super scenic lake in the volcanic crater. The roads surrounding this volcano are filled with insanely beautiful waterfalls, such as La Paz, a mesmerizing 5-waterfall trail, Catarata del Toro, a tall waterfall plunging into an old volcanic crater, Blue Falls, known for their unique blue color, and Catarata Vuelta del Canon, a gem in a super scenic setting. Very, very remote because it's very challenging to get to. Next up on this travel guide is the town of La Fortuna. This place is a hub for activities such as hiking, ziplining, whitewater rafting, horseback riding, and so much more. Now, just in town, you will find El Salto, which is a rope swing into a river pool, a very fun place to spend the afternoon for free. Another amazing natural wonder with a no entry fee is the El Choyin Thermal Springs. You can get here by taking a taxi from town, and you can even go in the nighttime when the air is fresher and bring some candles if you want to stay after sunset. There's another more developed hot spring in the area called the Tebacan Hot Spring Resort and Spa, which if you have a little bit more budget, you could maybe look into splurging for a night in this magical place. Right in town, there's this popular hike called the Bogarin Trail, where you could have a chance to spot some sloths and other wildlife. In the backdrop of La Fortuna, you will see the impressive Arenal volcano, where you can go hiking through the national park, through the lush rainforest, over old lava fields, and enjoy an incredible view of the Arenal Lake. Another famous activity to do here is to visit the La Fortuna waterfall and its impressive 70-meter drop. From La Fortuna, head west to Monteverde Cloud Forest, a mystical place up in the mountains with amazing views all around. Now, if you don't have a car, I highly recommend taking the Jeep option to go from La Fortuna to Monteverde, as it is a great activity in itself. In Monteverde, there are so many hikes to do featuring hanging bridges, waterfalls, and scenic views. These include El Tigre Waterfall Trail and the Cloud Forest Trail, amongst others. One of the more unique activities to do in Monteverde is to do a night jungle tour, where you have a chance to spot nocturnal wildlife and all the creepy crawlies. For a more thrilling day, go ziplining at Extremo Park, which has the longest zipline in all of Costa Rica. Now, if you're looking for a more relaxing day, you can visit the Butterfly Gardens, the Orchid Gardens, the Colibri Cafe to watch some hummingbirds, or the Curi Cancha Reserve to spot the elusive quetzal bird. This whole mountainous cloud forest area is very well known for its agriculture, so you could go on a coffee tour, on a chocolate tour, or on a sugarcane tour. And for the best sunset, make your way to Cerro Pinocho or the Mirador Las Rocas. Moving on to the Pacific side, Tamarindo, also known as Tamagringo, for being one of the most popular beach destinations in the country due to its proximity with the Liberia International Airport. Tamarindo is known for its surf, nightlife, and chill vibes. It's a great place to learn to surf with a lot of surf schools and beginner-friendly ways. From here, you can take a boat tour through the mangroves, spot some wildlife in the Tamarindo Wildlife Refuge, and see some turtle hatchings in the Marinos Las Bols National Park. Now, if you're here and you just want to get away from the crowds for a little bit, you can visit Playa Langosta, but keep in mind the waterfront is a bit rocky. There's also a really cool black sand beach nearby Tamarindo that you can visit. It's called Playa Carbon. South of Tamarindo, Nosara is a more laid-back and wellness-focused beach town on the Osa Peninsula. They say it's what Tamarindo used to look like before the massive influx of foreigners. Known for its yoga retreats, healthy foods, and beautiful beaches, it's the perfect place to unwind and reconnect with nature. While you're here, you could go visit the Ostiono Wildlife Refuge, one of the world's most important nesting sites for sea turtles. Next up, you'll find the smaller, cheaper, and quieter beach town of Samara. This is the ideal place for people who want to enjoy surfing and other beach activities without the crowds. You could rent a surfboard here for less than $5 an hour. Just note that it is more beginner-friendly waves because the bay itself is protected by coral reefs, making it a very nice place to swim. Further down on the Nicoya Peninsula, Santa Teresa and Malpais are very popular for their bohemian vibes, beautiful beaches, yoga retreats, and excellent surf spots. With such a chill atmosphere, it's no wonder why Santa Teresa is recognized as one of the world's 100 blue zones, which are places where more people live past 100 years old. Now, while you're here, do not miss out on the Cabo Blanco Nature Reserve, which offers hiking trails and wildlife spotting. Just a little further on the southeastern tip of the Nicoya Peninsula, you'll find Montezuma, another picturesque town with an array of very fun activities. This town actually feels more rustic, with a focus on arts and music, often hosting live concerts. Just a short walk from town, you can visit the Montezuma waterfalls and have a dip in the pools. And from Montezuma, you could take a tour to Tortuga Island for a little tropical paradise of white sandy beaches and amazing snorkeling opportunities. Just across the Gulf of Nicoya, you will find Jaco, a place brimming with nightlife and casinos. I personally found it quite charming, although it has a very, very bad reputation. It is a very popular spot for locals from San Jose to spend the weekend. Surfing tournaments are often hosted here. Jaco is also located near one of the highlights in the country, which is the famous Crocodile Bridge. You don't even need to book a tour, you could just stop on the bridge and gaze out at the 2,000 crocodiles that live in this river. Nearby Jaco, you can also visit the Pichacual waterfall and the Catarata Valle Encantado waterfall. A short drive south, the Manuel Antonio National Park is a must visit for amazing beaches and rich wildlife. The park has well-maintained trails where you can spot monkeys, sloths, a variety of birds, and so much more wildlife. The beaches in this park are some of the most beautiful in the country, and it's a perfect place to swim, snorkel, or just relax. Just note that this is the most popular and crowded park in all of Costa Rica, so make sure to reserve your tickets in advance. Now, just outside the park, there's a very unique restaurant called El Avión, which has been built inside of an old cargo plane. Other cool picturesque things you must visit if you're in this area are the Noyaca waterfalls, arguably the most epic waterfall in all of Costa Rica, and Punta Uvita, a long sandbank in the form of a whale tail, which is ironically a very good place to spot humpback whales. At the most southern tip of the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, you will find the Osa Peninsula, the most untouched area in the whole country. The beach town of Drake Bay is the perfect base point to explore this area. There's the Gordovado National Park, the largest in the whole country, described by National Geographic as the most biologically intense place on Earth. And while you're all the way here, why not take a visit to Caño Island for the best scuba diving opportunities in the whole country with some of the healthiest coral reefs in the world? Now, bear in mind, getting all the way to these remote areas is quite an adventure, and it comes at a very hefty price point. Moving on to the Caribbean coast now, Tortuguero National Park, located in the northern part of Costa Rica, is known as the Amazon of Central America. You could take a boat tour through the canal and see a crazy variety of species, such as tapirs, monkeys, sloths, turtles, and so many more. Now, on the South Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, Puerto Viejo de Talamanca offers an Afro-Caribbean culture, beautiful and unique beaches, and a vibrant nightlife. While you're here, make sure to try some of the local Afro-Caribbean cuisine. Make sure to visit the Cahuita National Park, which is free entry to do some snorkeling or hiking, or you could also visit the Jaguar Rescue Center. Just don't be fooled by the name. There might not actually be jaguars there at the time of your visit. I recommend hiring a bicycle for the day and going out to explore the different beaches and their viewpoints. You could go to Playa Cocles, which has surfing. You could go to Punta Uvita, which has sloths on the beach, or Manzanillo to visit the old Yaisil shipwreck. And if you're heading on to Panama, the border crossing from here is super cheap, convenient, quick, and easy. It costs $30 and takes about 4 hours to make it from Puerto Viejo all the way to Bocas del Toro, including the shuttles, the boat, the border crossing, and everything. All right, now that we've traveled all around the country, it is time to dive deep into the essential tips that you need to know before your upcoming visit to Costa Rica. Now, whatever your itinerary might be, don't worry. Wildlife is literally everywhere. You will find sloths on the beach, monkeys on power lines, parrots in your courtyard. It's crazy. It's a nation with no army, focused on peace, nature, and living the pura vida. The official language is Spanish, but English is widely spoken in touristic areas. Costa Rica's locals are commonly referred to as ticos or ticas. Costa Rica is generally safe for travelers, but it's always a good idea to remain cautious as you are traveling. Avoid isolated areas at night and always keep an eye on your belongings, even when you're swimming at the beach. Natural hazards like rip currents and wildlife are also things to be aware of. And on that note, make sure your vaccinations are up to date, use mosquito repellent, and check your body for ticks after visiting more remote national parks. It's completely safe to drink tap water in most of the country, but just make sure to check with your accommodation first. Costa Rica is well known for having an excellent healthcare system. Just make sure you are always covered by travel insurance. For transportation, Costa Rica is definitely by far better done with a car, as it offers you more flexibility and the chance to avoid the hefty prices of tours to visit all the major attractions. Roads are mostly good with traffic going super slow, but make sure to respect the speed limit, as there are a lot of speed traps and police that will fine you. Also be prepared for some rough terrains, hills, curves, and possibly some river crossings if you're traveling through the rainy season. Note that most places will charge you for parking, even at the most remote waterfalls. Public buses are a super affordable way to get around the country, although I must warn you, it is the worst system in all of Latin America. I know, weird, right? There's just not that much information online. I found most of my information from the Move It app or from this website called horariodebuses.com, which is a terribly built website, but it does help. From San Jose, you can catch a direct bus to anywhere else in the country. Just make sure to check the schedules online, as often there's only one departure per day or your destination. Super important to note, you must have proof of onwards travel before you go to Costa Rica. They almost didn't let me on my flight to Costa Rica because I didn't have a ticket out of the place. I had to buy a bus ticket and panic at the gate. So don't do like me. Be informed, be prepared, avoid the stress. Guys, I think I've said this before, but Costa Rica is a super popular destination. And so you will need to make reservations in advance to visit some of the national parks, volcanoes, waterfalls, etc. You can do that directly on the CNAC website. Costa Rican cuisine is simple. For a cheap menu del dia, go to a local restaurant called Soda and get yourself a typical meal called a casado, which is a plate with rice, salad, beans, plantains, and your choice of protein. The typical breakfast is called gallo pinto. It's rice and beans served with eggs. Other must-tries include tamales, fried empanadas, arroz con pollo, arroz con leche, ceviche, and fresh tropical fruits. Most restaurants will automatically add to your bill a 10% tip and a 13% tax. But the good news is you don't have to tip on top of that. Definitely cook for yourself if you want to save heaps of money. And on that note, make sure to get registered in the big supermarkets with your passport number. It takes about 2 minutes, and when that's done, you have access to these crazy sales. The official currency is the Costa Rican colón, but US dollars are widely accepted, especially in the tourism industry. Credit cards are widely accepted, but it's always a good idea to carry cash with you, especially in more remote areas. Note that Banco Nacional ATM has no withdrawal fees. So I think it's pretty general knowledge that Costa Rica is on the more expensive side of the Central American countries. While it's true that tours, national parks, and restaurants come at a heavy fee, I am super pleased to inform you that it is possible to travel Costa Rica on a budget. If you stay in less touristic areas like Samara, for example, if you stay in hostels, if you cook for yourself, if you take buses or hitchhike, and you indulge mostly in free natural activities, you can make it out pretty cheaply. I was flabbergasted when I did the math and I realized that I spent on average 65 Canadian dollars a day, which is like 48 USD. And I did the surf, the beaches, the national parks, the ziplining, waterfalls. I did a lot. What's the best time to visit Costa Rica? Anytime except the month of October, the rainiest of all. The rainy season is from May to November, and the dry season is from December to April. While I usually recommend people visit during the dry season, the shoulder season of May, June, and November are probably the best times to visit Costa Rica, with the waterfalls being in full force, the jungles being greener, the hot spots being less crowded, and everything being generally cheaper. Meanwhile, it only rains a few hours every single day. Please note, Costa Rica is a world leader when it comes to sustainability and ecotourism. So please respect the environment by following a leave no trace principle. Separate your trash, support local businesses, and choose eco-friendly tour operators and accommodations. Now, last thing I want to note is that Costa Rica proved to be more complicated, more expensive, and more time-consuming to get a SIM card compared to other countries in Central America. You do need to go to an official store of a telephone provider with your passport and get registered in order to stay connected. And that's it for my Costa Rica travel guide. I hope you found it helpful and not too overwhelming. And if you want a stress-free travel experience, go check out my downloadable maps with pins, pictures, and tips that you can access directly on your phone super conveniently. No more travel planning for you. No. Just rock up to Costa Rica and follow my pins. The link to my website is in the description box below. Now, if you found this guide helpful, please help me by giving it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more travel guides. And if I've missed anything, please drop your recommendations in the comments. I would love to learn more about this amazing country. Muchas gracias por ver al final. Espero que tengan un viaje maravilloso. Nos vemos en el próximo video. Hasta luego. Besos.